me, Jey Storms! And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. Wow, it's been almost 4 long months since I have done that intro. The signature intro that has made me so famous for so long. And of course, I had to break out the Blues Brothers sunglasses. I mean, did you not expect me to bring back the intro and the Blues Brothers sunglasses? I mean, come on, because today is a very, very special day. It is a very special day because 3 years ago was the start of a new era. 3 years ago today, I made my jump to YouTube. 3 years ago today was the day that DJ Storms launched the empire of controversy. And ladies and gentlemen, it has certainly been a ride. Don't worry, I ain't gonna stay in these sunglasses all video. Trust me, I just wanted to bring those out. I had to bring them out. But 3 years ago today, I started this. It has, it's changed my life in many ways, and I'm not really too good with the words, but I am very appreciative of everyone. As always, I say it every single time I make a video. I greatly appreciate every single person who has been by me to support me, to watch my videos, to like on my videos, to comment on my videos. Anyone who's been able to help me, my family members, of course, JD Thunder, of course, Crowbar, Gunner Trash, all the wrestlers that I've been able to interview, all the great people that I've met throughout the course of my 3-year tenure, and I got plenty left. Trust me, I got plenty left. I ain't going yet. This ain't the end of an era. Trust me, it ain't. I ain't going out until I say I'm done. And trust me, I got plenty more to come. We peaked 2,000 subscribers not that long ago. And today we celebrate 3 years. So I greatly appreciate every single one of you. I want to thank each and every single one of you who have been there, stuck by me. Even the people that have come to dislike my videos. Trust me, I know you're watching. I have you on strings like fucking puppets. Fucking losers you are. But anyway, 3 years of DJ Storms. It's been a ride. Time really does fly by. And it's been a very, very, very busy week already for me. I'm currently in the process of finishing up a project for my social media marketing class. This week is actually the last week. Of course, I have a video up on the channel. Already for this week. This week, I got plenty more videos coming, including tomorrow and on Saturday. And then we got Extreme Rules, or the horror show at Extreme Rules, however the fuck you wanna address it as. A pay-per-view is on Sunday. And then, of course, we got Slammiversary for you Impact fans. That's going to be on Saturday, July 18th. But today, July 16th, we celebrating 3 years, baby. 1, 2, 3. 1,000+ days of the most controversial, the most charismatic, the most stunning figure in the YWC and the IWC at that. Ladies and gentlemen, I got plenty of questions. A lot of you guys have submitted your questions in. I got a lot of questions. I wrote down the questions and I wrote down my answers in detail. So I got a lot to go over. How many pages we got over here? We got 6, that's 8, 10 pages worth of questions, ladies and gentlemen. I wrote down my answers as well. It's going to be a very, very, very fun video. So you guys are going to see the more human side. Of course, I've been a little bit more humanized as of lately. I haven't really been that charismatic, cocky figure that I've that I presented myself to be. But regardless of that, I got plenty of things to go over, plenty of questions to answer. I greatly appreciate you guys joining me here for the 3 years of DJ Storm's anniversary Q&A video. So before we get into the Q&A, as always, I need you guys to follow me on Twitter at HistoryMakerDJS. Please follow me on Twitter if you haven't already done so. Follow me on Instagram and Periscope at TheDJStorms. Add me on Facebook. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page. I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook, that is. All the links are in the description. If you missed the Lightning Flash update from last week, link is in the description, as well as the rundown for the horror show at Extreme Rules 2020 with ECW Chris 2408, a.k.a. Christopher Rivera. We did that. That is on the channel right now. A link is in the description. Please go check that out. Tomorrow is the rewind for AEW Fight for the Fallen, which took place yesterday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday is the Lightning Flash update. And then next Monday will be the rewind for the horror show at Extreme Rules. A lot of content coming. A lot of shit to do this month. Plenty of shit to do. If you guys haven't already done so, I need you guys to hit the thumbs up. I got goals. I got goals I want to meet. Try and get this video to at least 30. I know the goal hasn't really been reached the past couple of videos, but I think you guys can do it. Get me to 30 likes. Come on. And when you like, you got to comment down below. If you have any more questions, if you would like to give me any advice on how I should be running the brand. Not that I'm going to take it anyway, because, you know, it's my fucking brand. I can do what I want. But regardless, I just had to slip that in there, because I'm a prick. I am a prick. I'm so much of a prick that I actually need to comb my hair. I just need to soak it all in. Let me just comb the burns. Comb the burns just a little bit. Comb the strap and straighten up the stash just a little bit, because I'm a prick. But please, comment down below. And when you comment down below, you gotta hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Try and get me to 2,200, maybe by the end of the summer. We'll see how that goes. Of course, I start college a little earlier, considering that they want to end it before Thanksgiving because there's a predicted second wave of fucking COVID. Wear your damn masks! Sorry. And when you hit the subscribe button, you gotta hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way, you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. It's the only time where you're gonna get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination. This beautiful mustache. Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. Trust me, I know you do. But ladies and gentlemen, enough of this self-brand promotion and the advertisements. Why don't we get straight into the questions? We got a lot of questions to go over. And speaking of Christopher Rivera, he's actually question number 1. My first question comes from Christopher Rivera. Follow him on Twitter at ECWChris2408. He asks, what's your favorite thing that you've experienced during 3 years on YouTube? Now, I wrote this down. I wrote down all my answers. My favorite thing would have to be getting involved with what's going on in the wrestling world and being able to collaborate with so many great people, whether they be content creators, podcasters, YouTubers, fans, or even wrestlers. And a lot of the people that I've collaborated with have actually become my friends. So that's definitely got to be my favorite thing. It's being able to get involved in something that I'm so passionate about, because I've been a wrestling fan for 12 years. 12 years this month, actually. So it's so cool to actually get involved in what you've been so passionate about, and when you get involved in it, you realize how many people actually share the same love and passion, share the same motivation and drive as you, and you meet so many great people. And I have met so many great people. I have been able to do so many great things just by simply getting involved. Involvement is the most important thing, because once you get involved, then everything else is going to follow. So it definitely has to be being able to get involved and collaborate with so many great people. And you guys know who you are. I greatly appreciate everything that everyone has done for me and all the opportunities that have been offered my way ever since I started this. But that's definitely been my favorite thing. Versac Stoner on Facebook asks, What has been your favorite moment in the last 3 years? What has been your worst? And what has been your funniest? So, my favorite moment in the last 3 years would probably being able to commentate for WrestleMania 7. Now, I did not record that video. It's not up on my channel, but I do have the file. It's about like 2 hours and 37 minutes, but Crowbar, shout out to him. He was able to hire me for WrestleMania 7 all the way back in October, well before this COVID shit started. And he created this promotion called WrestleMania back in 2018, and he decided to hire me for that night. And it was undoubtedly the most humbling experience that I've ever had, considering that, you know, I've been just sitting back and watching these shows for like 7-8 shows straight, and then the most recent show, I was able to commentate for it. I was literally able to sit down at a commentary table with my DJ Storm shirt, nice sports jacket, and call the matches for over 2 hours. It's really something that I really couldn't have ever imagined when I started this brand. I really wouldn't have even thought that I would be in a position where I would be actually commentating for an actual wrestling show after so many years of watching it. And then I started the brand, and then so many years of sitting front row watching WrestleMania, getting to know the wrestlers. I didn't think that he would actually go out of his way to hire me, and that in itself, I really just can't even put into words. And I'm not good with the words as it is, but that in itself, it really was something else. It really was something else. I really can't put it into words, and I'm incredibly grateful for that opportunity. And I really do hope after this pandemic is over that I do get to go back and I do get to commentate for it again, because I do want to commentate the title versus career match between Gunner Trash and Crowbar. And shout out to Gunner Trash as well. He's been one of the biggest supporters of my brand. I consider him a great friend. He's the North American champion over at WrestleMania. And if he's watching, shout out to you, man. I love you. I greatly appreciate all the support that you've given me. But I really hope that once the pandemic is over, that I do get to go back and I do get to commentate for that. My worst moment would have to be however many times I've gotten suspended off Twitter. I've had like, it's like a running gag that me and my friends would joke about. I've had like 15 accounts. That in itself, it's probably my worst moment, because like I'd always have to rebuild the following on Twitter every single time I get suspended, and cross my fingers, it's not gonna happen again. So let's just hope that that's not gonna happen again. Now, my funniest moment would have to be filming the Quarantine with Thunder series. Me and Thunder, we've had a blast filming those series. My personal favorites had to be either Civil War or Dr. Thunder. We had to do those multiple times over because we just kept on laughing our asses off. That in itself was very entertaining. Definitely my personal favorite series to film with him. So it either has to be that, or possibly the original DJ Storm songs that I've come up with, like the We Will Rock You song, or the Christmas songs, DJ Storms Is Coming to Town. Those have been extremely fun to do. I got a lot of laughs and attention for that one. For those songs specifically. We Will Rock You is probably my favorite. Just because of the fact that, like, I rehearsed it and all that, but like the things that you heard before I started singing the song, the things that you heard before I started singing the song, like the Legends Recognize Legends shit, like I did not come up with that. I did not come up with that whatsoever. Or excuse me, like I didn't like write it down in advance. Like I literally come up with that on the spot. And that in itself, as I've gone on with what I've been doing throughout the course of the last 3 years, I've become more creative and I've become more innovative, and I've been able to come up with things on the spot like that. I don't have to write things down, and I don't have to rehearse things unless I'm writing down notes for a wrestling show, or I'm writing down the answers to my questions and I want to make sure I answer them in good detail. But those two things, the Quarantine with Thunder series and the DJ Storm's original songs, those two things have definitely been my funniest moments. Shout out to Earl Cole. Go follow him on Twitter at WWEEarlC. Go follow him on Instagram at EarlC99, and on Facebook, you can look him up, it's Earl Cole. He asks a really good question: how has wrestling evolved during this pandemic era? Very good question. I think wrestling has evolved in a few ways. One way would definitely have to be in terms of promos. The empty arena promos, they've really been some of the best promos in a while. The promos like from Rollins, from Owens, from Edge, from Orton, just to name a few. They have benefited immensely from cutting promos in the empty arenas. The intensity is there, the severity is there, the promos have really risen in terms of connection with the audience members on television, and the promos have really connected with me, and you can really sense that these promos will really draw you into the programs that these superstars are in. And I do hope that they do continue with the silent promos after the pandemic is over. Another way that I believe it's evolved is the cinematic matches. A plethora of cinematic matches have been given to us already, and I believe it's given wrestling a new feel, a unique feel. If they want to, I would definitely continue to use the cinematic matches to be the culmination of major feuds rather than just something that they have at every pay-per-view, because right now I do believe that a cinematic match is happening at every single pay-per-view until the pandemic is over. But after the pandemic, I do think that they could bring back cinematic matches as long as they are used to culminate a major feud. Like if they're culminating a feud, let's say Edge and The Undertaker. Now, the Edge and The Undertaker back from 2008, that was an excellent feud that stemmed across multiple pay-per-views that ended at SummerSlam inside Hell in a Cell. If they wanted to, a feud that's extended that long, they could end it in a cinematic match if they want. I definitely wouldn't mind that. And I do believe it could very well, this type of innovative material could really help the overall industry going forward and give it a very unique feel. Now, my final thought as far as wrestling evolving during the pandemic era, one of the most important things I would say is that the pandemic era has definitely taught superstars to operate in situations where they don't have the one aspect that really makes pro wrestling so great, and that's the crowd reaction, the reaction from the fans. And if superstars can continue to work in environments where they can't operate off of that crowd reaction, I really do think it's going to make their in-ring work better. It's going to make their focus better. It's going to make their drive better. It's going to make their motivation and their determination a lot better than before. Jenna Lee. Oh my God. This little Southern Angel. This Southern Angel has been with me for 2 years. 2 years, let me tell you. And I cannot thank her enough for sticking by me. If you want to go follow her on Twitter, go follow her at Miss Jenna_Lee. Lee is spelled Leigh. She is a fucking angel. I love her to death. And I cannot wait to meet her one day. She asks a very good question. She asks, what would you consider the most important thing you've learned in the 3 years you've been doing this? The most important thing I think I've learned is to always stick to your guns. Operate the brand the way that you want, because there's always going to be people that are going to try and twist your words, manipulate your words, manipulate others. And there have been plenty of people who were once my friends that have been manipulated by the community, and they've been manipulated by society, and they've become soft, they've become ignorant, they've become idiots, they have become hypersensitive social justice warriors, vindictive idiots, you name it. You name it. You operate it the way that you want, even if it's not politically correct, even if people are not a fan of it, even if people are going to take your words completely out of context, even if people are going to go out of their way to talk about you behind a block, or just screenshot your tweets, blah, 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 whatever the fuck it may be. You operate your brand the way that you want. You stick to your guns. You remain truthful to yourself. And you stick by those who are loyal to you and hold those who are loyal to you very, very close. And I'm telling you, you're going to be a success. And I'm a living example of that. I'm a living example of being a success because I operated my brand the way that I wanted to, no matter how many people I've lost, no matter how many people have been manipulated by the idiots of this fucked up community, no matter how many people have gone out of their way to try and cancel me with this cancel culture bullshit, or they want to give me these bullshit excuses about, oh, you don't respect other people's opinions. Difference between opinion and stupidity. Learn it, fuckers. I've had plenty of people who are my friends. They were brainwashed by everyone else into believing that I was something completely different when I'm not, even though I've shown them the human side of me. What can you do in that regard? People are intimidated by me. Plain and simple. People are intimidated by me because they either know that I'm right in what I say, or they feel as though that I'm better than them. And let me tell you something. Personally, I don't think I'm better than anyone. I know that these people are watching. Trust me, I know that they're watching because they can't help themselves. They're swinging from every single word that I say because I am the highlight of their life. They can't live without me. They need to cling on to me for relevancy. You know who you are. I got you on strings. But I operate my brand the way that I want. And they're going to lie. They're going to twist my words to fit their narratives and agendas because they don't want to be adults and accept that I run my brand the way that I want to run my brand. It's quite pathetic. It's quite pathetic. And I'm sorry if it turned into a little bit of a mini rant session, but regardless, I needed to get that off my chest. But always stick to your guns. Always stick to your guns, and it will make you an indisputable success. It's made me an indisputable success. But Jenna, very, very, very good question right there. Thank you for participating. Wesley Landon Woosley asks the next question. Shout out to him. Go follow him on Twitter at Landon LANDO_Woosley, WOOSLEY, Landon_Woosley. So Wesley Landon Woosley, he asks, besides wrestling, what else do you watch? I watch a lot of horror material, Paranormal Witness, Celebrity Ghost Stories, to name a few. I'm addicted to horror movies, like the Insidious series, the Conjuring series. Conjuring is actually my favorite horror movie of all time. I love comedy movies like The Hangover, The Blues Brothers, which is my favorite movie of all time. I used to watch that with my dad all the time. I love the Marvel Cinematic movies. Those are great. Lastly, I like watching the Try Not to Laugh challenges on YouTube. Because I always end up laughing anyway, but if I need a laugh, then I just hop on YouTube, watch the Try Not to Laugh challenges. No matter what they be, whether they be reaction videos or Vine compilations, it does bring a smile to my face, and we all need a little laugh here and there. Kelly asked the next question. You can follow Kelly on Twitter at Calliope Maria 9. That's KALLIOPE Maria, and then the number 9. She asks, if you could change or do something different in your college career, what would it be? I would have to say it would definitely be the fact that I took Business Statistics 1 online over the summer 2 years ago, and it sucked. I got the head of the department, and it was insanely confusing. A class like that you cannot take online because, realistically speaking, an online course is pretty much a rushed course. So I definitely would change that, and I would not have taken Business Stats 1 online. Because I passed with a C, and me, I don't like passing with C's. I don't even like passing with B's. I take nothing less than an A. So, if anything, I would probably go back and either move that class towards an actual semester rather than a class online so I could get an A. Because, like me, I kind of look back on that and I'm like, I don't like having that C on my transcript. So that's one thing that I would definitely change about my college career. Matt Moody, shout out to him. Go follow him on Twitter at MattMoody_M. He asked 2 questions. What influenced you to become a YouTuber? Very nice question there. I started out on Periscope, mainly because I was bored. That was on my first account, which was at the DJ Storms. And after being on Periscope for about 5 months, I felt as though I went as far as I could go on Periscope, and I wanted to transition over to YouTube, which I did. And I pretty much love talking about wrestling, and I really wanted to get involved. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to really put my knowledge about professional wrestling to great use, and boom. Then I just decided to transition over to YouTube. A lot of people have influenced me. A lot of YouTubers have been big influences on my tenure on YouTube. Some of my biggest inspirations, the JD from New York 206. He's definitely number 1. Goran Perkins, please go check them out. They're hilarious. Willpower, In the Clutch Ent, they're all fantastic. I have been influenced by them to continue doing YouTube. They have really helped me through shitty days. They have really entertained me to the best of their abilities. So those four YouTubers are definitely my biggest inspirations as far as becoming a professional YouTuber, or a YouTuber on the side at least. And the second question that Matt Moody asks is, in AEW, after it being only 1 year old, which superstar do you think has been the MVP? Very good question. I would have to say Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Undoubtedly, his work has been untouchable. It's easy to pick out Cody. It's easy to pick out Hangman Page or Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks or Jon Moxley or Chris Jericho. But Maxwell Jacob Friedman, he's been doing everything right. He's been hitting a grand slam with everything that he's doing, from his in-ring work to his promos to his storylines. The man is undoubtedly the next AEW World Champion. I've said it once and I will say it time and time again. And I cannot wait to see him become the next World Champion come All Out 2. Joseph Conlon. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. We actually did a video for his channel. We did Extreme Rules preview and predictions for his channel. That's currently up on his channel right now as we speak. So please go check that out. You can follow him on Twitter at Conlon_Joseph. He asks 2 questions. Number 1 would be, what has been your favorite rant that you've ever done in your channel's history? Ooh, 2 come to mind this year, actually. One being a Becky Lynch rant where she cried out sexism, and I ranted for about 15 minutes on the build, the booking, and production of the women's division on the main roster and how shitty it's been. And then the second one would have to be Charlotte Flair back in January before the Royal Rumble. The Lightning Flash update, a day before the Rumble, I ranted and complained on Charlotte Flair's comment where she complained that the fans always complained that she won all the time, when in reality that complaint didn't even exist. She was complaining about a complaint that didn't exist, when in reality they're complaining because she's always in the title picture. So that was definitely a great rant of mine. Those 2 rants stick out specifically. I did do a couple of rants in the beginning stages of my channel where I ranted on Battleground 2017, and I did rant on SummerSlam 2017 as well, if you want to go check those out. Second question he asks is, would you go to the first wrestling pay-per-view in the United States once the pandemic is over? That would depend where it is, my friend. If it's on the East Coast, possibly. If it's not, I don't think so. I got bills to pay. I got to save money. Next question comes from at BTTG161 of Marking Out. I believe that is a podcast in the IWC. So he asks, who are your favorite wrestlers? Well, I do have a number of favorite wrestlers. Some of my favorite wrestlers currently are Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ember Moon, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, Cody, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. My top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. That's kind of tough. In no specific order, I will tell you that Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. CM Punk, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Edge, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels. But my favorite wrestler of all time, undoubtedly my favorite wrestler ever, there will never be another one, would have to be The Undertaker. Jey Diamond TV, fellow YouTuber, please go check him out. Go check him out. He is on the road to 500 subscribers. Please go help him out there. He asks 2 questions. How old are you? I am 21. I actually turned 21 on April 2nd of this year. Fun fact about me, I was actually born on Good Friday in 1999, so I'm considered a bit of a blessed child. His second question is, who's your favorite female pro wrestler? My favorite female pro wrestler is Ember Moon, and I did an entire rant on Ember Moon all the way back in May before Double or Nothing, and I ranted on how her career may be over, which I am pissed about because she was barely given an opportunity on the main roster. Ember Moon, undoubtedly my favorite women's wrestler in professional wrestling right now. My second favorite would have to be Hikaru Shida in All Elite Wrestling. My third would also be in All Elite Wrestling. That would be the Alien, Chris Statlander. Shout out to her. I hope that she comes back quite nicely from her recent knee injury. Jessie Kalin. Shout out to her. Go follow her on Twitter at Jey Kalin, JCALYNN Art. She asks, what was the original thought process, inspiration, and story of how the DJ Storms character got started? That is a very, very, very excellent question, and I am very glad that you asked that. So I started out pretty much because I was bored, and I started out on Periscope. And it was February 12th, 2017, Elimination Chamber Day that year. And I decided to go on Periscope Live. I had a decent amount of followers on my first Twitter handle. And I decided to jump on Periscope live stream for about 30 minutes and just give my predictions and analysis on the Elimination Chamber. And so I did it, and it got a decent amount of views. And then I thought to myself, all right, I'll wait, and I'll do it again for Fastlane. So I did it again for Fastlane, and it did decent again. And then I started thinking to myself, all right, if I need this, or if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need something. I'm going to need something of substance. I'm going to need something that's really going to grab everyone's attention, something that an audience can gravitate towards. I need something big. I need something eye-catching. And thus began the development of the DJ Storms character. Now, DJ Storms, I believe I've told this story to a few people. DJ Storms, now DJ stands for my first name and my middle name, Dominic Joseph. My last name is not Storms. It would be cool if it was, but it's not. Now, Storms has two symbolic meanings behind it. Number one would be the fact that I used to create a character on my wrestling video games when I was younger, and it was called the Assassin Parker Storms. So I kind of just took Storms from there and put it behind DJ. It really does bring me back to my childhood days, and where it was a much stress-free time. I didn't have to worry about what bills I'm going to pay, or what's the next assignment that I got to submit for college, or when am I going to work next, or how many people I got to connect with on LinkedIn and stuff like that. That has really, it's really brought me back to simpler times when I was younger, and I didn't really have to worry about all this adulting bullshit now. And then the second symbolic meaning behind DJ Storms, or Storms at least, is because the house that I've been living in has never lost power during a storm. I was calling up all my friends during Hurricane Sandy. I'm like, hey, Rob, did you lose power? Yep. Hey, Carly, you lose power? Yep. Hey, Dominic, you lose power? Nope. I did not lose power. We don't have a generator. I have no idea how. But my house did not lose power during Hurricane Sandy. So that's the symbolic meaning behind DJ Storms. Now, as time went on, I really evolved from being just a boring, bland analyst, and I really got more comfortable in front of the camera. I started to become more charismatic, more flamboyant. I put myself out there a little bit more. I started wearing the sunglasses, and I started coming off. My mannerisms were a lot more cocky, you know what I mean? And then when I made my jump over to YouTube, then I just continued to do it. I haven't looked back since. Originally, it was really supposed to start off as an anti-hero. It really was just supposed to start off as a joke, as an anti-hero, and then, you know, I saw some of the hate that I was getting. I saw this unnecessary hate that I was getting, and I thought to myself, all right, you know what? I'm going to run with this. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this as fuel. And as time went on, towards the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019, it really started to take off. And it pretty much took on a life of its own, and it became its own entity. And now I can just flip it on and off just like that. So the inspiration behind the DJ Storms character was pretty much me just looking to give an audience something to gravitate towards. Like, the thought process was pretty much like giving an audience a little form of entertainment, because that's what it pretty much is. There's two parts to my channel. There's the wrestling analytical portion, and then there's the substance form of entertainment, which obviously has the DJ Storms character and JB Thunder, and we've done plenty of charismatic and goofy little series there, and sometimes we intertwine it where he plays the drums and then I talk about wrestling and he then plays the drums again. So it's a nice combination. Sometimes we do entertainment portion, sometimes we do wrestling portion, other times it's combined into one. So the inspiration of what it's behind now is pretty much just feeding off of that unnecessary hate and feeding off the trolls and using that and getting in their faces to piss them off even more. And I do get off. I do get off on, pissing people off because they know they can't touch me, and they know that I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, and they're going to continue to be sad little miserable people. So that was pretty much the inspiration and the entire thought process behind it. The story was pretty much just to be entertaining, and then again it just kind of took on a life of its own. So now I can flip the switch from Dominic to DJ Storms just like that. But good question, Jesse. Very good question. Next question comes from Brittany K. Follow her on Twitter at BrittanyK5150. I love her. She is awesome. She has been one of my best friends for the last few months. I can't thank her enough for being as supportive as she has of me. I can't thank her enough for being incredibly sweet to me. She's an angel as well. She asks, favorite activity outside of doing stuff with your brand? My favorite activity outside of my brand would definitely have to be going to the mall with my friends, or just going places with my friends in general. It's good to get out there. It's good to get away from the brand. It's good to get away from work and college and everything going on. It's good to get out, and it's good to hang with people that I don't really see too often. Go to the movies. And I went to the movies with a couple of people back in February. I hung out with a lot of people in February. February was actually a great month for me. I did a lot of good stuff in February where I was going over my friend Michael's house. Shout out to him. I was going over his house a lot. I was going to the mall with my friend Jasmine, my friend Joanne. I was going to the movies with my best friend Vince. I was doing a lot of things in February before this COVID nonsense hit. But it really is nice to just get away and really just take your mind off of everything and talk and laugh. So definitely going to the mall would be one of my favorite activities to do with my friends outside of doing stuff with the brand, obviously. Wrestling with Heat. Wrestling with Heat. Go follow them on Twitter at Wrestle with Heat. They recently just peaked 300 subscribers. Shout out to him. He recently just peaked 300. Continue to keep on going. Keep going. Keep on grinding. Let's get to 500 before the end of the month, which is, I'd say it's a little bit of a stretch, but I think you can do it, brother. I think you can do it. He asks, who's your top 5 talkers of all time? Very good question right there. From number 5 to number 1. Number 5 would be MJF. Number 4 would be The Rock. Number 3 would be CM Punk. Number 2 would be Stone Cold Steve Austin. And number 1 would be Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, undoubtedly the king of promos. My friend Danielle, last but not least, final question. My friend Danielle, last but not least, Danielle. I'll be sure to text you. I hope you're doing okay. She asks 2 questions. Number 1, thoughts on John Cena. I think he's one of the best in the business to operate under the circumstance that he's been given. I think he's one of the best talkers in the business. I think that when put in a big match scenario, I think that he definitely delivers. I do think that he is undoubtedly, he was undoubtedly one of the best, probably the best face of the company in the modern era. There's literally like no one else. No one else is going to fill John Cena's shoes right now. And to be quite honest, he said it himself that we don't even need that. That concept of the guy is dead. So I have a lot of respect for him there. He's one of the best talkers in the business. As far as his movies go, not a fan of his movies. Not really a fan of Playing with Fire, Blockers. It was okay. That was okay. Fast and Furious, really not a fan of it. I mean, I'm glad that he's happy doing his shtick in the movies. And number 2, she asks, how tall are you? I am 5'8". I know she just wanted to shove that in my face because she's taller than me. Yes, I know, you're 5'11". I'm shorter than you. I get it, Danielle. My God. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the 3 years of DJ Storm's anniversary Q&A. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Thank you for coming to listen to the questions. Thank you for coming to celebrate with me. I greatly appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, check out all the links in the description. Watch all the videos that you've missed. We got plenty left in the tank. Plenty left in the tank. DJ Storms, he ain't going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere. Please go check out the rundown for Extreme Rules, or the horror show at Extreme Rules with Christopher Rivera. Links in the description. Rewind for Fight for the Fallen is tomorrow. Lightning Flash Update is on Saturday. Rewind for Extreme Rules, or the horror show at Extreme Rules, that is going up on Monday. Lots of stuff to do. I actually got to get to work right now. I got to get to work. I got to work 2 to 7. And then tomorrow, actually, I got to get me some IV infusions to keep my intestinal disease intact. But we are going to end this the right way. We're going to end this the right way, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and this has been 3 years of DJ Storms anniversary Q&A. And I will catch you guys tomorrow for the rewind for All Elite Wrestling Fight for the Fallen.